Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. India's borders with Bangladesh are extremely porous, and the fear is that immigrants are entering illegally, and that has grown to a large extent, particularly after the ouster of Sheikh Hasina on the 5th of August. Prime Minister Modi, Union Home Minister Amit Shah have all, in the very recent past, raised this issue of rampant infiltration causing demographic changes, not just in Bengal, but also in the neighboring state of Jharkhand. In fact, Home Minister Amit Shah made that a pitch on the campaign trail just a few days ago, claiming that infiltrators will become the majority if the JMM and Congress have their way in the state. While Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren has denied the charges, he has in fact pointed a finger at what is happening in West Bengal and the lax oversight, if you will, by the Mamata Banerjee government there. He says illegal infiltration and demographic shifts in Bengal needs to be under the scanner, not in his state. The big question remains, the numbers lay out a pretty dire picture of the damaging impact if there's going to be unchecked and rampant illegal immigration, namely against the poorest of the poor. Now, while politics seems to be derailing what is required at this time, what is a national solution to try and deal with the problem of rampant infiltration, CNN-News18 has gone to the ground and found out what is the truth to this problem. We've done a special investigation at the border districts, in at least 3 places in the border districts between India and Bangladesh, where the BSF, of course, has its hands full in tackling this menace because the number of people and the tactics that they employ to come there, it's almost, palms are greased at every stage. My colleague Anvit Srivastav went to these border villages, to these border areas, and checked out this reality for himself, watched this eye-opening investigation, and particularly what has happened in the aftermath of Sheikh Hasina's ouster in the last couple of months or so.
আমরা অনেক গরিব মানুষ, তাই আসছি কাজের জন্য। আমাদের ওখানে কাজ নেই, তাই এখানে কাজ করতে আসছি।
अभी कैसा हालत है बांग्लादेश में जहाँ आपका गांव है?
অনেক খারাপ, কোনো কাজ টাজ নেই, সব ভেঙে টেঙে ফেলছে, কাজ মাজ নাই, সবার বাড়ি ঘর ভাঙছে, বোম মারছে, গুলি করছে।
मैंने बोला मेरे पास तो वीज़ा नहीं है, मैं इंडिया जाना चाहता हूँ, मेरा बेटी और बीवी जा रहे, तो बोला मैं तुमको भेज दूंगा, 15,000 बांग्लादेशी टाका देना पड़ेगा। अभी जिंदा रहने के लिए किधर जाएगा, बांग्लादेश में रहेगा तो पकड़ लेगा वो सभी लोग, इसीलिए इंडिया चला रहे।
These testimonies, never heard before on television, epitomize the desperation of Bangladeshis to cross over into India. Since Sheikh Hasina's exit on August 5, the political turmoil in our neighbor country has raised fears of a mass exodus into India. Many rushed to the borders hoping for safety and a better livelihood.
यहाँ पे आप कैसे आई, किसको आपने संपर्क किया, कौन आपको यहाँ पर लेकर आया, कितना पैसा दिया, पूरा बताएंगे एक बार कैसे है?
দালালের মাধ্যমে আসছে, দালাল নিয়ে আসছে নদী পার করে, সাঁতরায় আসছে, ওখান থেকে সাঁতরায় ভেলিতে করে নিয়ে আসছে, কলা গাছের ভেলাই করে ডুবে নিয়ে আসে। এখান থেকে এসে এই পারে যখন আসছি তখন বিএসএফে ধরছে, ধরে তারপরে এখানে নিয়ে আসছে। দালালের নামটা আমি কিছু জানি না।
और उसको कितना पैसा दिया जो लेकर आया?
10,000।
10,000। वो जो एजेंट था जो टाउट आपको लेकर आया, जिसने 10,000 रुपये मांगे आपसे, वो आपको कहाँ मिला था?
इमो
पे। तो इमो पे कैसे संपर्क हुआ, कैसे बातचीत हुई?
मोबाइले কথা হইছে।
मोबाइल से। तो अभी तो जैसे अभी पकड़े गए, तो अब क्या लग रहा है, अब क्या होगा आगे?
জানি না, আমি জেলে দিয়ে দিবে, জানি না।
जब आप बांग्लादेश से इंडिया आ रहे थे, तो कहाँ से आपका सफ़र शुरू हुआ?
मैं इधर बेनापोल बॉर्डर में आया था, उधर से मेरा बीवी और बेटी दोनों पासपोर्ट दे के वीज़ा लेके इंडिया में आया। उधर वो जो दुकान था ना, उधर से मैंने बोला मेरे पास तो वीज़ा नहीं है, मैं इंडिया जाना चाहता हूँ, मेरा बेटी और बीवी जा रहे, तो बोला मैं तुमको भेज दूंगा, 15,000 बांग्लादेशी टाका देना पड़ेगा। वो तो दुकानदार है,
फिर वो आपको
लेके आए ऑटो में, इधर लेके आया 1 बजे, फिर उधर बैठा रहा शाम तक, फिर मेरे को बोला इधर से वो पार करके जाना है नदी।
तो जिसको तैरना नहीं आता उसको कैसे लाया?
उसको थोड़ा पॉट है ना, ऑयल का पॉट, वो पॉट इधर बैठा के फिर लेके आया।
अच्छा,
हाँ,
तो कितने लोग आए थे?
14-15 होगा।
कितना
मैंने
औरत था, कितना आदमी था?
औरत तो दो ही देखा, एक ही पकड़ गया और एक था।
बच्चे भी थे?
नहीं, बच्चा नहीं था।
तो अभी आप लोग जैसे 15 लोग एक साथ आए,
हाँ
तो अभी क्या बहुत सारा लोग आ रहा है बांग्लादेश से इधर?
हाँ, बहुत सारे लोग आ रहे हैं क्योंकि बांग्लादेश में बहुत सारा प्रॉब्लम चल रही है अभी।
अच्छा अच्छा।
अभी उधर वो गवर्नमेंट उधर चेंज हो गया, इसीलिए उधर जो हिंदू लोग, हाँ, उधर जो हिंदू लोग हैं ना, वो लोगों को थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है। और जो पॉलिटिशियन है, जो पॉलिटिक्स कर रहे हैं, उन लोगों को भी प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है। इसीलिए सभी लोग अभी जिंदा रहने के लिए किधर जाएगा, बांग्लादेश में रहेगा तो पकड़ लेगा वो सभी लोग, इसीलिए इंडिया चला रहे हैं।
There seems to be a rise since August this year, but Bangladeshis illegally crossing into India is not a new phenomena. Ever wondered why many house helps, drivers, laborers often speak in a tongue that sounds more Bangladeshi than Bengali?
আমরা অনেক গরিব মানুষ, তাই আসছি কাজের জন্য। আমাদের ওখানে কাজ নেই, তাই এখানে কাজ করতে আসছি।
तो कहाँ जाने का था आपको? इंडिया आके क्या काम करना है और कहाँ जाना है?
झाड़ू पोछा करना है।
They claim to be from villages in Bengal, but the areas they identify with are all close to stretches vulnerable to human trafficking and infiltration along the Indo-Bangladesh border.
All right, so that was an exclusive and exhaustive ground report, an investigation that our reporter Anmit Srivastav did over a period of 2 weeks between August and September in the bordering districts between India and Bangladesh. But that is one part of it. The other part, of course, is the politics that is happening first between the BJP and the TMC, and now subsequently between the BJP and the JMM. Here in our studios, Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of the BJP, Tanuj Khatri is spokesperson of the JMM, Professor Monijit Mondol is a political analyst, he backs the TMC, and R.K. Bhargav is a former IG with the BSF. Pradeep Bhandari, so today the Jharkhand Chief Minister has hit back at the Home Minister and said, and I quote, they talk about changing demography and Bangladeshi infiltrators. I would like to tell them, take a look at the data, go and see what the data is in Bengal, then see the various districts of Jharkhand. You will find that there is no change in demography here. How would you respond to the Jharkhand Chief Minister? Because he's saying that you are presenting a wrong picture.
Well, this is the order of the Honorable High Court of Jharkhand, and this is the order dated on 8th August 2024 with reference to the submissions on 3rd July 2024, in which the Honorable High Court accepts that there is demographic change and it directs Deputy Commissioner of Districts of Godda, Jamtara, Pakur, Dumka, Sahibganj, Diogar to make separate affidavits and in order to ensure that infiltrators are not given Aadhaar card, voter card. So the Jharkhand High Court admits that in the Santhal Parganas there is a demographic change. So Mr. Soren is going against the Jharkhand High Court. Now let me tell you data of how there is a huge demographic change. As of 1951 in the Santhal Pargana, which constitutes these 5 districts which were taken into consideration by the Jharkhand High Court, the Muslim population was 9% and the tribal population was 45%. As of the latest data which we have and which is available in public domain, the tribal population has fallen less than 30%. This is what the Jharkhand High Court has admitted. The issue is that a tribal chief minister is not taking care of the tribal rights. In fact, the tribal chief minister here is taking care of vote bank. Let me 10 seconds quote you another instance. There is a very, very famous sanctuary, a bird sanctuary which is called as Udwa Bird Sanctuary in Rajmahal. Now, if you go on the ground, you will find that 3 castes, tribal castes, Chaimandal, Gangotra caste, all of them have completely gone away from those areas because of demographic change. So there is an admission by the Honorable High Court. This is not what we are claiming as a political opinion.
Okay, so let me ask Mr. Khatri of the JMM. This is the data, Mr. Khatri. The Muslim population in Jharkhand and the Muslim population in Santhal Parganas, which are about 4 or 5 districts in the border between Jharkhand and West Bengal. Muslim population in Santhal Parganas, 1951 census, 9.44%. 2011 census, which is the last census that we have, is 22.73%. That's an increase of 13.29% in those years. Now, I also want to bring to your attention the demographic change in the overall state of Jharkhand. the tribal population in 1951 census, tribal population was 26%, Hindus were 87%, Muslims were 8.9%. In the 2011 census, the last census, tribal population is 26%. So it's a fall of 10% in 50 years. Hindus was 81%, fall of about 6%. Muslim population went up to 14.5%, a rise of about 7%. Now, please explain why this is not a problem in your state, a problem which even the High Court has flagged, but the Chief Minister says there is no such thing, no change of demography happening in the state.
Yes, yes. Pratap Singh Rawat, he is the Under Secretary of Ministry of Home Affairs, Union Ministry of Home Affairs. इन्होंने एफिडेविट दिया है कोर्ट के सामने, जिसका मैं एक दो लाइन पढ़ के सुना देता हूं क्योंकि उन्होंने भी सुनाया. 7वां पॉइंट है that since illegal migrants enter into the country without valid travel documents in clandestine and surreptitious manner, accurate data regarding number of such migrants living in the country, including the state of Jharkhand, is not available. ये बता रहे हैं होम मिनिस्ट्री के अंडर सेक्रेटरी प्रताप सिंह रावत जी हाई कोर्ट को. तो जब आपके पास डेटा ही नहीं है कि कितने लोग आए हैं, ठीक है, आप भी मानते हैं कि ये एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या है, हम लोग सब मानते हैं कि ये समस्या है, लेकिन बताओ तो सही कि समस्या का जिम्मेदार कौन है. ये एफिडेविट दिया है, मैं कोई इधर उधर की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं. और प्रदीप भंडारी जी भी मुझे अच्छी तरीके से जानते हैं कि मैं कोई इधर उधर की बात करता भी नहीं. मैंने पढ़ के सुना दिया. 11/9/2024 का एफिडेविट है. ये तो एक पॉइंट है, कई एक पॉइंट उसमें आ रहे हैं. दिक्कत क्या है ना कि जब केंद्र सरकार को जब हाई कोर्ट में या सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जवाब देना होता है तो वहां उनके शब्द कुछ और होते हैं, और जब चुनाव में जाना होता है तो वहां जहरीले बोल होते हैं. इसका जवाब उनसे लीजिए.
नहीं, ये आई विल आस्क हिम द आंसर फॉर दैट. लेकिन ये तो बताइए, मैंने तो अभी जो डेटा दिया आपको, ये तो सेंसस डेटा है, और सेंसस डेटा साफ बताता है ना कि प्रॉब्लम तो है. हालांकि आपने जो जिक्र किया एंड द डेटा दैट यू गेव, द एफिडेविट का जो कोट आपने किया, दैट इज देयर, बट वो एफिडेविट के बाद ही हाई कोर्ट का ऑर्डर आया था ना. हाई कोर्ट के ऑर्डर तो पिछले महीने ही आया था.
नहीं, वो उसी पिछले ये 11 तारीख का ही, सितंबर का ही मैं बात बता रहा हूं. मैं ठीक है, अगर आप मुस्लिम को बांग्लादेश से कैसे जोड़ दे रहे हैं?
नहीं, किसी ने ऐसा नहीं बोला. नहीं, किसी ने ऐसा नहीं बोला. मैंने सिर्फ ये बताया कि देखिए, ये था मुस्लिम पॉपुलेशन इन 1951 और ये अब है, और ये ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन 1951 में ये था और अब ये है. मैंने ये नहीं बोला कि मतलब मुस्लिम मतलब बांग्लादेशी. नो, सॉरी, डोंट मिसकोट मी. हाँ, बोलिए.
बोलता हूं जैकब भाई, मुस्लिम पॉपुलेशन की बात हुई कि 1951 में इतना था, 2011 में उससे कुछ बढ़ गया, 2014 और बढ़ गया. तो इन सब से बांग्लादेश घुसपैठ कैसे कनेक्ट हो रहा है सिर्फ मुस्लिम पॉपुलेशन से? ये भी तो सवाल है ना. अच्छा, एक और उसमें एफिडेविट है कि मदरसों की संख्या बढ़ी है. तो मदरसा अगर खुल रहा है तो वो क्या बांग्लादेश के कानून से खुल रहा है भारत में, कि कुछ कानून है भारत के अंदर में?
ये प्रदीप भंडारी कह रहे हैं, मैं नहीं कह रहा हूं. प्रदीप भंडारी बताइए, जस्ट बिकॉज द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ मुस्लिम्स इज इंक्रीजिंग, यू आर सेइंग दैट ऑल मुस्लिम्स आर बांग्लादेशी.
I'll tell you. Well, let me just quote. On 21st December 2019, fake Aadhaar card in Ranchi is being recovered and they are found to be Bangladeshi illegal immigrants. On 6 June 2024, in Baryutia area of Ranchi, again fake Aadhaar cards have been recovered, found to be from Bangladeshi immigrants. 4th August 2024, 4 illegal with fake Aadhaar card again recovered from Jharkhand. On 14 January 2024, Jharkhand police arrested a woman, again fake Aadhaar card seized. Now please look at the order. Nobody is saying that the entire Muslim population is an illegal immigrant. We are saying that there are illegal immigrants who are coming and settling and taking away tribal rights. They do not have the socio-cultural system even of the Muslims of this area. So it is to do with the tribals and Muslims and every community in Jharkhand. Please read the point number 7, which point number 7, it acknowledges that there is an illegal infiltration which is taking place from 5 districts. So Mr. Khatri, please read the order of the court is what I am telling you.
So let me ask Manojit Mandal, who backs the TMC. So just as I told Mr. Khatri, the population demographic change or the percentage change in Jharkhand, let me now tell our viewers and ask Mr. Mandal, Professor Mandal, this is the Bengal data. rise in Muslim population. 1951 census, proportion of Muslim population was 19.46%, so less than 1 in 5. In the 2011 census, the Muslim population was 27%, almost 30%, which means a 10% jump in those 50 years. In the Bengal-Jharkhand border, in 1951 census, 9.44%, in 2011 census, 22.73%. Now, please explain the rate of increase of the population in Bengal is much higher than it is in Jharkhand. Now, why is Hemant Soren wrong when he says, you know, why are you holding my state accountable? Please check the population in Bengal. After all, Jharkhand does not have a border with Bangladesh. Bengal does.
I think my good friend from JMM rightly intend there are your rise of Muslim population.
Again, please, I don't admit such things.
Bluntly saying it.
Bluntly or saying it.
Nonetheless,
Yeah,
and you are selectively bring out the odd state. Maximum infiltration took place in the last 40, 50 years since 1970s, and there was, you know, repercussions, uproars, violence, killings, and torturing, everything. Even in 2019, during the CAA was passed, and that is the state of Assam. And you please go to the border districts of Assam. The maximum infiltration in terms of numbers still took place in Assam. So why not? First of all, let us recognize, as my good friend from JMM also recognized, that this is a problem. But this problem has been there since 1970s for the last 50 years. And you had what you had in Assam in the term of Assam Accord and then NRC and then CAA. Ultimately, what the boils down is that all political parties need to have a consensus on how to tackle it, irrespective of the religious, you know, problems and all. Now, one can possibly argue that why have you sheltered Sheikh Hasina? Why? She's a refugee in India, right? So I'm not comparing, but there is. Please hang on. I'm not comparing. I'm saying that you have done the right thing. Please, I ask this person to stop now. No. I am saying that you have done the right thing. So Sheikh Hasina remains the friend of India. But look at your narrative since 2018, when the first draft of NRC came in Assam, that all Bangladeshis are Ghuspetiyas, all Bangladeshis are termites, irrespective of their religion. But only after Hemant Biswa Sharma went to the Home Minister saying that the 12 lakhs Hindus are suffering in the detention camp, if all Hindus are termites, then how do you bring CAA?
Okay.
Because CAA is basically for the Hindus.
One second. Let me also bring in Mr. Bhargav, and I'll come back to Pradeep Bhandari and to Manojit Mandal after that. Mr. Bhargav, as a former BSF official, now one of the saddening parts, we've shown this in our ground investigation as well, there are touts, there are brokers, there are these, what they call, the victims call dealers, who are paid 10,000 taka, 20,000 taka, and they are brought in the most inhuman conditions. One lady narrated that she was brought on a log of wood and crossed across from Bangladesh into India. But one of the saddening parts, Mr. Bhargav, is that this is also happening with greasing of palms of the local BSF officials who are present there. Now, how does that problem be tackled?
See, this Bangladesh problem is not a recent one, because the things started deteriorating in 1947, when a lot of Hindu Bangladeshis, they had to flee the country, I mean the East Pakistan, come to India, settle down in Assam, Meghalaya and Bengal also. Of course, thereafter up to 71 there was a slight lull period, but still the people were coming into India. After 71, it was the Muslim influx that came to India, and that influx was the major turning point in the Indo-Bangladesh border area. I have seen, I was on Bangladesh border, I was in Bengal. When I was there in 1984, the demographic situation was different. It was 80% Hindu, 20% Muslim. But when I went there in the same area in 1998 commanding a unit, I found that demography had changed. It was now 80% Muslim and 20% Hindu. The reason is, even after everything, when we tried to stop them, the BSF came, even some fencing was there, but still the people, they were coming from Bangladesh, and there is a very planned and a nexus right from Bangladesh to hinterland in India. There are people, there are group, they cross, they bring the people to Bangladesh, I mean India border.
Okay.
Then there is another group, they specialize in crossing the border, they cross the border, and then there is another group which takes them deep inside the country and they settle them there. Now, whatever condition they say, now those who want to come to this side, they are ready to spend the money, they are ready to face any inhuman condition. Sometimes they cross the river with this, what you call that, banana log, which keeps on floating on the border. They sit on that and they come this side holding their small children in their hand. So this is the situation which was happening in Bangladesh.
Okay.
Of course, for some time, for 2-3 years, there was slightly lull in, rather you can say the reduction in the rate of influx into India when the Bangladesh economy was
doing better.
Going up. But still the people there are finding it much easier and much better to come to India and settle down here. Reason being, I think everyone knows it. I will not go into the political discourse, but the situation was that whosoever comes to India, there is no problem, he gets an Aadhaar card made, he gets some land allotted to him, he gets some people who are supporting them, and of course, as I said, there is a nexus, and in that nexus there is someone who is always there to support them.
So,
he brings them in,
Pradeep Bhandari, you heard what former IG had to say, you have also heard what your political opponents have to say. BSF at the end of the day is under the central government, is under the Home Ministry. Well, why don't you stop the illegal immigration?
Well, Zaka, just to quote the facts on BSF, it is to do with fencing. 2,803 kilometers were fenced as of July 2019, and this has increased as of August 2021 to 3,141 kilometers. So 30% fencing is remaining, and that will also happen, and it's one of the largest borders which we have with Bangladesh. So that is a problem, we understand, but the intent is there to solve it. Now, there are 2 points, Zaka, and allow me to say. On the 22nd paragraph, I'm not insinuating, I'm just telling you the fact. The Honorable High Court says, just on the Jharkhand point, that the region, the Santhal Pargana region has drastically decreased from 44% in 1951, like you quoted, to 28%, whereas on the other hand, the Muslim population in the said region has increased manifold by 9 percentage point. However, the percentage of the population of others has changed marginally by 3.3% for the said region in that region. This is why people are saying that it is to do with illegal immigration, which is also altering the demographics. So Muslim point comes by the High Court. Now with Mandal, please tell me, the Honorable Home Minister making the statement that all the Bangladeshis who are coming from Bangladesh to India are illegal immigrants. He's lying. Let me quote what Mamta Banerjee said on 5th of August 2005. This is Mamta Banerjee in the parliament. She in fact resigned because she said that घुसपैठ जो है वो लगातार बढ़ती जा रही है बंगाल के अंदर बांग्लादेश से. This is Mamta Banerjee when she was a member of parliament, not the chief minister. Now let me tell you how grave the situation is. Let me tell you 3 districts. South 24 Parganas, North 24 Parganas, the situation was such that in the 1991, the Muslim population was less than 50%. Right now, the situation is that 14 blocks in South 24 Parganas and 10 blocks in North 24 Parganas have become Muslim majority.
Manojit Mandal,
so all of this is interlinked, Zaka, which is what your investigation is also saying.
Yeah. First response to the former IG of BSF. If you go by the data of first draft of NRC that came out just 6 years ago, August 2018, the maximum number of illegal immigrants, according to the NRC data, were the Hindus. That is 12 lakhs out of 18 were suffering in the detention camp. So this is the data. You are saying that the infiltrators are mostly Muslims. According to the data released by the Assam government, 2018 data, NRC first draft, they were the Hindus. And to answer to the question of my friend from BJP, I think he's doing a shelf goal that Mr. Amit Shah during 2018 and 2019 poll plan, this was one of their agendas.
Sir, when we were getting NRC, you opposed the NRC. When we were getting NRC, you opposed NRC. You can't say a single word because of your vote bank politics. Tell us how is Murshidabad, South 24, North 24.
One at a time, please. One at a time. Yeah, one at a time.
Tell us where the Home Minister said that all people coming from Bangladesh are
one at a time.
You know, a gap of over 50 years, 1951 to 2011, where so many things have happened. especially the Bangladesh war, which was rightly pointed out by the Honorable IG BSA. During that point in time, there were people from all across Bangladesh. They were coming to India. Everyone knows that.
Mr. Bhargav wants to come in. Mr. Bhargav wants to come in. Yeah. Mr. Bhargav wants to come in. Mr. Bhargav.
Yeah, first of all, as they were discussing that, they said that it is the responsibility of the center government. I think the local security and local law and order depends on the state government. On the border area, I have seen now the entire border area, you can see in Assam, the entire border area was completely dominated by the Muslims. All the MLAs, MPs, they were Muslims, and they facilitated the influx. They facilitated the influx of the Muslims.
Yes.
Right in Murshidabad, Malda, Dhubri,
Yes.
all these areas are now totally almost say 95 to 98% Muslim.
Okay.
From where did they come?
Let me just on the point.
Just one thing. One thing more.
Okay, one thing
now,
more. Yeah.
Just one thing I would like.
Give
Now
me
they
10
said
seconds,
ki now
Dr.
Hindus also came. Yes, I said ki Hindus came, but they came in 1947.
Yes.
Thereafter, very few Hindus they came to India compared to Muslims. There was influx of Muslims, 80 to 90% those who came to India were Muslims. Hardly 10% were Hindus.
Give me 10 seconds.
Muslims came to India
Pradeep Bhandari, and then after that,
I can say
Mandal.
very
Okay.
blankly.
Zaka, the data suggests that in the last 10 years since Mamata Banerjee's government is in Bengal, the border districts between Bengal and Bangladesh, 50% plus villages have converted into Muslim majority. They have a plan because of their vote bank politics to convert Bengal into a Muslim majority Pradesh because in order to
but
convert
where are you citing this from?
This is an exact data which is there. This is available right now.
This
This
is
is available
where?
across. This is census which is there 2020, 21, 2011. If you look at border districts of South 24 Parganas and
Mamata
North
Banerjee
24.
came to power only in 2011.
Yeah, so 2011, post 2011.
So
Yes.
No.
Yes.
There is no data after 2011.
This is what has been reported in the news. This is there in the media. I am quoting media.
No.
Which is
So
Yes.
point
Yes.
is
This is
the
widely reported in the media.
last
Yeah.
census was 2011. We've not
yes.
had a census in 2021 because of COVID.
Yes.
But be that as it may,
Allow me.
My point
I'm
is,
just saying that the media has reported that
Okay.
there are districts, there are villages in Bengal which have converted into Muslim majority.
Okay, Monojit
come in?
Mandal. Huh.
No, I think my good friend, he was at one point in time cephalogist, the kind of cephalology that he used to do in Jan Ki Baat or Man Ki Baat. He's doing the same kind of data about.
Arre Baba,
this
come on,
conversion.
that's a cheap shot.
This is
No,
on a
you can do
lighter-
better
no,
than that.
This is on a lighter note. No, I'm not serious.
okay,
Mr. Mandal, you
I'm
are
not
so
serious about
desperate.
his cephalology as well. So I lighter note.
Mandal.
This is
Okay,
a
lighter
very, very
note.
serious note, Mr. Jaka. No, I think I'll take the point from the Honorable IG when he said that border districts are being always dominated by the Muslims. So what is happening in Bengal, my dear friend? Please check. All the border districts are actually choosing BJP MPs, including their president in Bengal, that is Sukanta Majumdar. And please take Jalpaiguri.
We are talking about Murshidabad, Malda. We are talking about Murshidabad, Malda. We are talking about border districts, particular Murshidabad, Malda, South 24 Parganas, North 24 Parganas. Do not lie on the debate, Mr. Mandal. Just because you will quote anything and everything, you are not correct. Don't become a fake professor. Quote exact data. Quote exact data.
And they will have
Don't
to
lie.
work in
Has
tandem with
Murshidabad
the
voted a
government
BJP
in
MP?
Bangladesh.
What are you saying?
It's not just
Has
in
Murshidabad
Assam,
voted a non-Hindu
Tripura,
MP since
in
1952?
Meghalaya,
No.
in Manipur.
How are you getting Manipur?
All infiltrations mostly
Mr.
taking
Mandal,
place in
Mr.
these
Mandal, has
northeastern
Murshidabad voted a
districts,
BJP
not
MP?
Just in Bengal or in Jharkhand.
Don't lie. Why are you misquoting the IG? Has Murshidabad voted a BJP MP?
Murshidabad is one part of that.
So is it not the border district? Has Malda voted a BJP MP? Has Malda voted a BJP MP?
You have land.
Has Malda voted a BJP
50
MP?
kilometers deep in the
Has Malda voted a
in the
BJP
region of the
MP?
State government.
No,
What
has
is
Malda
BSF
voted a
doing?
BJP MP or not?
So
Tell
you
me.
must- this Home
No,
Minister
I'll
must
expose you on
resign.
show.
I'm
No, you said
demanding
that
the
BJP
decision of
MP.
the
Has
Home
Malda
Minister.
voted BJP
He has
MP?
failed to check infiltration.
Has Malda voted BJP
Home
MP?
Minister has failed to check infiltration.
That was the
in
report
last
is
5
from
years.
border
What is the
district.
Home
Okay.
Minister
Mr.
doing?
Mandal is
What
exposed.
is the BSF doing?
Okay. But Pradeep, you still haven't answered the question.
What?
The BSF is the one that is guarding the borders, not the Bengal police or the
No, I
Jharkhand
agree,
police.
but we're not getting any cooperation
And
from
you
Mamata
have a
Banerjee's
strong-
government.
strong
As Mr.
man
IG
as
said that
the
the local
Minister
police
of
has to
BSF,
cooperate. The
Mr.
situation
Amit
is
Shah.
much better than before.
What is he doing?
Absolutely,
He
I
must
agree with you. It's
resign
not the
then.
ideal situation, but we need a cooperation from the state government.
And
Mamata
then in
Banerjee is
moral
focused
ground, he
only
must
and only on a
resign,
vote
Mr.
bank.
Amit Shah.
Mr. Mandal, I know you have won Murshidabad because of your vote bank politics. I know you won Malda because of your vote bank politics, but do not make Bengal a Muslim majority
Mr.
Pradesh.
If this is happening in Murshidabad, Mr. Amit Shah should resign.
Why should Mr. Amit Shah resign? It is happening in Murshidabad. It is your state government. You have failed on law and order, which is every state government has said it.
Okay. Had a law to acquire land deep into 50 kilometers of the state territory.
Okay.
And thereafter, even you are failing.
Mr. Mandal,
No, I'll give the
today.
IG Saab the final word. IG Saab, there are two parts to it. One is the demographic change. The data is there. I put it out there. It's for people to believe. I mean, this is census data. I'm not inventing this data. Second is this insinuation that all of this is actually illegal migration from Bangladesh, or whether this is actually the increase of population of Indian Muslims, Muslims who have lived there for generations at large. So the insinuation is by saying that everybody who's come there, everybody who's the reason for the Muslim population increasing in these districts is not illegal Bangladeshis, but it's the Muslim population itself increasing, the indigenous Indian Muslim population itself increasing. Bhargav Saab.
Say again, because I could not hear your last.
I said the insinuation made by the JMM spokesperson earlier and by Professor Mandal also is that, you know, the demographic data has increased, yes, but to say that the increase is entirely because of illegal Bangladeshi immigrants, that is the insinuation.
No, I don't find any doubt in this, that the data has increased because of the illegal Bangladeshi and even the Rohingya infiltrators, those who came and settled down there. Because some of them, they came to Bengal, they settled down there, they came to Assam, they settled down there. And because of that, the situation has changed. Of course, the demographic change of local Hindu population and Muslim population was also there.
Maximum.
But over and above that, Muslims who came from Bangladesh, they have also contributed their share in changing the demography.
Okay.
Now, one thing, because I was just overhearing some conversation.
Maximum Rohingyas.
I have to wrap up also, but quickly, Ajit Saab, I have to wrap up.
Hello.
Yeah. Quickly finish your point. Quickly finish your point, please.
I think it is the state government which is more responsible, because BSF, whenever it apprehends some infiltrators, it has to hand over to the local police.
Yes.
And if the local police, they let them go, what the BSF can do? It is not the central government which is going to take
we'll
charge
leave it
of
at that. But let's be clear that this is a problem, and this is a problem that needs to be addressed almost on a war footing, because if we don't, then not only is it's not just a question of demographics changing, it's a question of fight for resources. At the end of the day, we are a resource-starved country, and it's going to be a fight for resources, and that's the last thing we want as a nation. All right, thank you very much to all our guests, but let's shift focus now to the second segment.